Welcome back everyone, and thanks for joining me for another episode of my PES 2020 Master League with Manchester United. And kicking things off, we've got the trip to St James's Park as we are set to take on Newcastle United in more Premier League action. And we need those 3 points. We need to start closing that gap on Manchester City and hope that they slip up somewhere along the line as we are edging closer to the end of this Premier League season. Here are the teams and a few changes for Manchester United. Most notable is Tuanzebe, who comes in and fills in for Lindelof, who was battling for fitness. Dalot starts instead of Luke Shaw, and it's James Maddison in for Paul Pogba today. Here we are then at St James's Park, Newcastle United against Manchester United. It's always an interesting one, this. Always a game to keep your eye on. There are a few players in that Newcastle side that are looking to prove a point in this game today, especially Andy Carroll. James Maddison has such range, finds Greenwood, into Martial, Greenwood again, these two linking up nicely. It's out wide to Wan-Bissaka, first time for Anthony Martial. Keeper save, Stengs I think was ready to put it in the net. Andy Carroll, using that height of his. Jonjo Shelvey fails to pick up the loose ball, and it's Mason Greenwood, loads of space, gone for goal. And it's easy for Elliott. Could have done more there. So wide for Almiron. Tricky customer this one. He finds Carroll. Ki-sung on the ball now. Bit of a challenge made there by Scott McTominay. Here is Andy Carroll. He's scored. It's 1-0. The Magpies in the lead. Bit of a shock to the system, that one, for Manchester United. Andy Carroll does it again. There are times when he just seems unplayable. You just can't do anything against him. And what a finish. Manchester United then have it all to do. Here is Anthony Martial. He's just put it wide. So Manchester United still trailing in this game here at St James's Park. So over the top there from Bruno Fernandes. Here is Calvin Stengs. His efforts just keep going wide. He's not having the best of luck since signing here for Manchester United. Not yet, anyway. Still a few teething problems. So over the top, here is Manquillo. Gets his cross into the box. It's a really good cross as well, as Andy Carroll almost doubled the lead for Newcastle. Almost got his second goal of the game. Good vision there by Jonjo Shelvey to pick out the run of Manquillo. And good solid header, which just goes wide. And there's a clash there between McTominay. It's not good for United as Andy Carroll is in again. And David De Gea, oh no, he knows he's messed up there for Manchester United. He did save the initial shot from Andy Carroll, but it was just too powerful. And it's found its way into the back of the net. 50 minutes gone. It's Newcastle 2. Manchester United 0. Andy Carroll on for a hat-trick. And it all started with that clash between McTominay and Martial. It's difficult watching for United fans, this. David De Gea. Unbelievable. Jonjo Shelvey gets dispossessed. McTominay on a one-man mission here. Feeds it through for Anthony Martial, who goes all the way, and it's 2-1 Manchester United right back in it, 5 minutes removed from Andy Carroll's second goal. Martial picks up the ball, let's get this game restarted, he says. It's a bit more like it from Manchester United, quick, direct. Martial makes it 2-1, keeper did get a touch to it, couldn't stop it from going into the back of the net though, as you can see here. Almiron, oh, he gets past Harry Maguire. He's got a chance here to go all the way. Almiron full of pace. Gets closed down. It's Andy Carroll. Loses out there. And Tuanzebe has made a challenge. The referee calling him over. Is it just going to be a warning? Yes, it is. Will be a free kick as well. There was a moment. Didn't quite know which side of the line it was on, the challenge that was made. As you can see, it's very close here. Just on the outside of the box. So it's going to be a Newcastle free kick. Dangerous position. Axel Tuanzebe can't believe it. He thought he had the ball. It's going to be Matt Ritchie then to step up and take it. Well, in the 90th minute, it's 3-1, and that is definitely the game right there for the Geordies. Things have just gone from bad to worse for Manchester United here. It was St Maxim that won the free kick, and it's Matt Ritchie that scored the third goal of the game for Newcastle and has won them all 3 points. Axel Tuanzebe disappointed himself. Manchester United disappointing in themselves as it's finished 3-1. Embarrassing day out. So there's the league table then. After losing 3-1 to Newcastle, we do drop to third. We're a point behind Liverpool and 8 points now behind the league leaders Man City. That league title slipping further and further away from Manchester United. So that's another month down for Manchester United. Back in December, we played 7 matches, won 5, lost 2, whereas things haven't been the best here in January. We've played 6 matches, we've won 3, drawn 2, and lost just the 1, and we haven't scored as many goals as we did back in December. We desperately need to pick things up, but it's going to be difficult in February. We've got some big games coming up. We've got a few offers in here as well before the transfer window slams shut. Sergio Romero, Watford have come in with a 1.5 mil bid for him. We're going to reject that, as we've only got De Gea and Romero as keepers at the moment. And we've had an offer from Newcastle for Fred for 18.9, and we're going to reject that too. There has been a leader effect as well. Angel Gomez has been talking to the media and how he really respects Harry Maguire, how he prepares for matches, and is an example to us all. So we're not far away from the window shutting, and we've just received an offer from Atletico Madrid for David De Gea, 79.5 mil. It's way over his estimation. We're going to reject that. We haven't got time to be replacing these key players now, as we are ever closer to the window shut, and we've just received another offer for Paul Pogba. This one comes once again from Juventus. Again, it's over his market value of 122 mil. They desperately want him back in Serie A, but again, we're going to reject. So then, that's it. 3 seconds remain, and the window is now shut. There was a big move on deadline day, as Benzema has signed for Bayern Munich. The team of January sees just 2 Manchester United players amongst the 11, Bruno Fernandes and Anthony Martial, amongst the likes of Sterling and Harry Kane and Golan, Pereira, Keane, Ederson and Virgil van Dijk. Manchester United's next game at Old Trafford against Middlesbrough in the Premier League is the perfect opportunity to get back to winning ways, and here is the team lineup. It's David De Gea in goal, Lindelof back in the starting lineup alongside Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka also back for Manchester United as the fullbacks. It's Fred, Fernandes and Pogba in a midfield of 3, and going forwards it's Marcus Rashford, Mason Greenwood and Anthony Martial. Some would say probably Manchester United's strongest 11. McTominay out due to fitness issues. He probably would have started this game ahead of Fred, but it'll be good to see him back in the starting lineup, Fred, and see what he is capable of against a team such as Middlesbrough. Martial having to go back to go forwards. Here is Maguire now. Bit of space for Bruno Fernandes. Paul Pogba. And wide for Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw swings it in. It's full for Mason Greenwood. Chests it down and scores on the volley on his strong side, on his left foot. And that is brilliant from Mason Greenwood, from the teenager. Great delivery from Luke Shaw, headed on by Anthony Martial. The way he chests it down, keeps it under control, keeps his cool, and he finds the back of the net. Manchester United up and running now in this game against Newcastle. That is a goal that will be played over and over again. Look at the assist from Martial off the head. Just glances it on. Mason Greenwood hammers it home. Just dead here for Middlesbrough. Bit of space now for Ashley Fletcher, former United graduate from the academy. Swung in. Maguire with the header away. Fred needs to be careful here. He's already on a yellow card. Hyson goes and challenged. Hyson has got the equaliser for Middlesbrough. And you can see how much it means to him. The way he's celebrating. What a goal. What a moment for Middlesbrough fans. Right before half-time. Right before the ref blew the whistle. Before the break, David De Gea, annoyed with his back four. Annoyed there was no challenge made here. Fred did all he could to close down, but couldn't win the ball off Housen, who used his strength. And what a hit. That's a bit of help from the post as well, as it clipped the inside. And it's 1-1. Big 45 minutes coming up then in the second half for Manchester United, who desperately need to get back to winning ways after losing to Newcastle in our previous game. Well, there we go. It's ended 1-1 here at Old Trafford. A disappointing result. So we've dropped even further down the table. We're back down to 4th. We're 2 points now behind Chelsea, who we did beat in the previous episode. We're now 3 points behind Liverpool, and well, I think at this stage of the season, I think it's safe to say that the Premier League is completely out of reach, as 25 games have now been played. There's only 13 remaining, and we find ourselves 10 points behind City. Again, yeah, still a lot of football yet to be played. To win the title is still possible, but not really realistic. Manchester United's last 2 games in the league have been very disappointing results-wise. So a lot of changes have been made to today's team ahead of the trip to St Mary's, as we are set to take on Southampton. Sergio Romero starts in goal ahead of David De Gea. That's probably the most notable change. Daniel James comes back into the starting lineup alongside James Maddison, who will pair in midfield with Bruno Fernandes. Let's see then how Manchester United will get on today. A win is a must. Valerie down the right channel here for Southampton. Just cuts inside slightly. Eskeff on the ball. McTominay does well to get to it. Danny Ings shoots at James Maddison into the midsection, and we'll see that on the replay what happened there. Hesketh does get his shot away on the well, it looked like a bicycle kick. And he just goes over, not worrying Romero. Aaron Wan-Bissaka. It's a poor pass. It's been poor passes from both teams here today. Very messy, very scrappy. Harry Maguire charging forwards. Anthony Martial. Daniel James finds Martial. 1-on-1, it's 1-0. And that's exactly what United needed. It's a bit of a boost. Martial back to scoring ways. Half an hour played here at St Mary's. It's 1-0 Manchester United. Great passage of play. Snappy as well from Dan James. Just sticks his foot out and finds the run of Martial. He did well to hold it up. Just struck at the right moment to make that run, as you can see there. Sandwiched between 2 defenders. And he makes it count. Through the middle, bit of space here now for Anthony Martial. Finds Marcus Rashford again. Rashford in, 1-on-1. It dribbles into the back of the net. It's 2 now. 9 minutes removed from the first goal from Anthony Martial. Rashford scoring his first goal in what seems like forever. Probably his first goal in the last 4 to 5 games in the Premier League. Victor Lindelof now out wide to Timothy Fosu-Mensah, who's come on here for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Martial over the top for Rashford, who's in the mood today, Rashford. It was a good effort on goal. The volley struck sweetly. And Alex McCarthy in between the posts for Southampton does so well to get down to it so quickly. Well, there we go. Manchester United back to winning ways. Much needed 3 points that. Decent performance all around as well, as it's finished United 2, Southampton 0. Well, before we end the episode then, here is the league table. As it currently stands, we are back up to third, level on points with Chelsea, who lost their game on the weekend. We're still 2 points behind Liverpool and 10 points behind City, with just 12 games remaining. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed. I'll see you all very soon for the next one. Thanks for watching.